Everybody's got something trying to break them. Pressure, pain, setbacks, haters, circumstances that feel impossible. But I came here to tell you, you can't defeat me. And I'm not just talking about me, I'm talking about that spirit inside you, that grit, that resilience, that fire, that part of you that refuses to quit even when everything around you is screaming, give up. That part of you is undefeated. See, life's going to test you. Life's going to throw storms, heartbreak, rejection, betrayal, financial struggles, mental battles. It's going to try to convince you that you don't have what it takes. But the moment you decide, I'm unbreakable, I'm not backing down, that's the moment life loses its power over you. You've got to wake up every single day in 2025 with this in your spirit, you can't defeat me. Pain is one of the greatest equalizers in life. It doesn't matter where you come from, what you've achieved, how much money you have, or how strong you think you are, pain is going to find you. But the difference between those who break and those who rise is not the absence of pain, it's how they respond to it. Pain was never meant to destroy you, it was meant to shape you. It was meant to sharpen you, to prepare you for a level of strength, wisdom, and discipline that comfort could never provide. And if you're willing to stop running from pain and start embracing it, you'll realize pain doesn't have the power to defeat you. It has the power to define you. The truth is, most people treat pain like the enemy. They back away when it gets uncomfortable. They quit when it hurts. They fold when life gets heavy. But pain is not the signal to stop. It's the signal to keep going. It's the proof that you're stretching beyond your limits. Growth and comfort can't live in the same space. If you're growing, you're going to feel pain. If you're transforming, it's going to hurt. And that hurt is not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of progress. Think about it. Every scar you have is proof that you survived something that tried to take you out. You might have been bruised, but you weren't broken. You might have been knocked down, but you got back up. You might have cried blood and struggled, but here you are, still standing. That's the power of pain. It reveals the strength inside you that you didn't even know you had. Without those moments, you wouldn't have discovered just how tough you really are. But here's where most people go wrong. They let pain define their future instead of fuel their future. They experience heartbreak and close off. They face rejection and stop trying. They go through loss and let it rob them of their will to live. Pain only defeats the ones who surrender to it. If you keep pushing, if you keep showing up even when it hurts, if you use that pain as fuel to build something greater, then pain isn't defeating you. It's developing you. Pain is also the greatest teacher. It teaches patience. It teaches humility. It teaches gratitude. Pain reminds you that you're human, but it also reminds you that you're resilient. Without pain, you'd never appreciate joy. Without struggle, you'd never value success. Without tears, you'd never understand the worth of laughter. Pain refines your perspective and makes you value things you once overlooked. So the next time pain knocks at your door, don't hide from it. Don't collapse under it. Instead, rise up and face it. Look pain in the eye and declare, you can't defeat me. You're only here to make me stronger. Because the truth is, pain doesn't get the final word, you do. And when you decide to endure, to push, to grow, pain becomes your greatest ally, not your greatest enemy. Failure is a word that scares most people. But the truth is, failure is nothing more than feedback. It's life's way of showing you what doesn't work so you can find out what does. The problem is, too many people treat failure like a full stop when really it's just a comma. They fail once, and instead of getting back up, they let that moment define them. But here's the truth. Failure cannot defeat you unless you quit. As long as you're still standing, as long as you're still trying, as long as you're still moving forward, failure is powerless against you. Think about it. Every person you look up to, every success story you admire is built on a mountain of failures. Champions aren't defined by how many times they win. They're defined by how many times they refuse to let losing stop them. Failure is part of the process. You don't get to greatness without stumbling. You don't get to success without setbacks. Every misstep, every mistake, every closed door is actually a stepping stone pushing you closer to your destiny. But here's where most people go wrong. They take failure personally. They let it attack their identity. They start saying things like, I failed, so I must be a failure. That's the lie failure wants you to believe. But you've got to separate the event from the identity. You may have failed at something, but you are not a failure. You are someone in the middle of learning, in the middle of building, in the middle of becoming. Failure doesn't define who you are, it defines where you are in the journey. Every time you fail, you have a choice. You can sit in it, complain about it, replay it over and over, and let it paralyze you. Or you can study it, learn from it, and let it fuel you. Failure is the best teacher because it exposes what needs to change. It shines a light on your weak spots so you can strengthen them. It reveals the gaps so you can close them. Failure, when embraced, is simply growth in disguise. Here's the key. You can't be afraid to fail forward. The only reason people never taste success is because they're too scared to try. They avoid risk because they don't want to lose. But avoiding failure is the fastest way to guarantee you never win. The most dangerous thing you can do is play it safe. Failure will never defeat you, but fear of failure will. So in 2025, you've got to flip the script. Stop seeing failure as the enemy and start seeing it as an ally. When you fail, celebrate it, not because you lost, but because it means you were in the arena. You were trying, you were taking action while others were just talking. Failure proves that you're moving, and motion is always better than standing still. At the end of the day, the only real failure is quitting. As long as you're willing to get back up, adjust, and go again, you're undefeated. Failure doesn't mean the story is over. It means a new chapter is beginning. So the next time you fall short, don't hang your head in shame. Lift it up with pride and say, you can't defeat me. This is just part of the process. And when I come back, I'll be stronger, wiser, and hungrier than ever. Doubt is one of the strongest enemies you will ever face. Not because it's out there in the world, but because it lives in your own mind. It whispers when you're alone. It creeps in when you're tired. It shouts the loudest when you're about to step into something bigger than yourself. Doubt tells you, you're not ready. You're not good enough. You don't belong here. But here's the truth. Doubt can talk, but it can't walk. Doubt has no power to stop you unless you give it permission. It can't defeat you because doubt is only noise, and noise doesn't have to dictate action. Most people lose to doubt not because it's stronger than them, but because they believe it's lies. Doubt is a trickster. It thrives on your insecurities. It magnifies your weaknesses while blinding you to your strengths. It reminds you of your past failures, but never shows you the lessons you learned from them. But once you realize doubt is only smoke and mirrors, you stop letting it call the shots. You stop waiting until you feel ready, and you start moving in spite of it. Because the truth is, nobody ever feels 100% ready. If you wait for the doubt to disappear, you'll be waiting your entire life. The antidote to doubt is action. Every time you take a step forward, every time you execute, every time you deliver results, you prove your doubt wrong. Confidence doesn't come before action. It comes after. You build confidence by doing the very thing doubt says you can't do. That's how you silence it. Not with words, but with proof. The more evidence you create that you are capable, the quieter doubt becomes. You've also got to be careful who you listen to, because sometimes doubt doesn't come from your own mind, it comes from the mouths of others. People will project their limitations onto you. They'll say, you can't do that. You're not smart enough. You don't have the resources. And if you're not careful, you'll internalize their doubts and wear them as your own. But you've got to remind yourself, just because they can't see it doesn't mean it's not possible. Their doubt is about them, not about you. Don't carry someone else's disbelief as if it's your truth. And let's be real, doubt never fully goes away. Even the most successful people feel it. The difference is they don't let it paralyze them. They don't let it sit in the driver's seat. They acknowledge it, but they don't obey it. You have to decide that no matter how loud doubt gets, it doesn't get to write the script of your life. So when doubt tells you, you can't, you answer, watch me. When doubt tells you, you're not enough, you say, I'll grow until I am. When doubt says, you're going to fail, you say, even if I do, I'll rise again. Because the truth is, doubt can bark all it wants, but it doesn't have the bite to defeat you unless you hand it the leash. And in 2025, you don't hand over control. You step into your power and declare, they don't own me. You can't defeat me. Haters are loud, but their noise doesn't hold weight unless you give it power. The truth is, the moment you start chasing something bigger than yourself, the moment you decide to grow, to build, to dream beyond average, haters will show up. They'll talk about you, they'll doubt you, they'll laugh at you, and some will even hope you fail. But let me tell you something, haters can't defeat you. Their words don't pay your bills. Their opinions don't define your worth. Their negativity doesn't set your future. The only way a hater wins is if you stop moving, if you stop believing, if you let their noise silence your purpose. You've got to understand, hate is a reflection of them, not you. People hate because they're insecure. They hate because they see in you what they don't see in themselves. They hate because your light exposes their darkness, your grind highlights their laziness, your courage reminds them of the chances they never took. Haters are mirrors of regret, and instead of facing their own reflection, they project their pain onto you. If you take it personally, you'll get stuck in a war that doesn't even belong to you. But if you rise above it, you'll realize that hate is nothing but free fuel. It shows you're on the right path. The truth is, nobody hates on the person who's doing nothing. If they're talking about you, that means you're making moves. That means you're creating waves in a world that's comfortable being still. And here's the key. You don't waste energy trying to convince haters to like you. You don't waste breath arguing with people committed to misunderstanding you. You stay focused on your lane because at the end of the day, results silence critics. You don't fight hate with words, you fight hate with success. But here's where most people slip. They let hate distract them. They scroll through comments, they obsess over what's being said, they waste time proving themselves to people who will never clap for them. Don't fall for that trap. Your destiny is too important. Your goals are too valuable. Your time is too precious. You can't afford to stop and throw stones at every barking dog. Keep walking. Keep walking. Keep walking. Keep building. Because while haters are talking, you're leveling up. And when the results show, their words won't matter. Remember this, haters can't defeat what they didn't create. They didn't give you your vision, so they can't take it away. They didn't put the gift inside you, so they can't shut it down. They didn't wake you up this morning, so they don't control your tomorrow. You belong to something greater, and no hater has the authority to stop that. So the next time someone tries to tear you down, don't let it get under your skin. Smile, because their hate is proof you're doing something worth noticing. And then get back to work, because the best clapback is not an argument, it's elevation. At the end of the day, haters are background noise. You're the one holding the mic. You're the one writing the story. You're the one setting the tone. So declare it boldly. You can talk all you want, but you can't defeat me. Fear is the shadow that follows all of us. It shows up when you're about to make a move that could change your life. It shows up when you step outside your comfort zone. It whispers, what if you fail? What if you're not good enough? What if you embarrass yourself? But here's the truth. Fear can only live where faith is absent. Fear feeds on hesitation. It grows when you give it attention. But the moment you act, the moment you step forward, the moment you do the very thing fear told you not to do, you prove that fear has no power over you. Fear cannot defeat you unless you surrender to it. Most people let fear control their lives without realizing it. They don't chase their dreams because they're scared of what people will say. They don't take risks because they're scared of losing. They don't step into opportunities because they're scared they're not ready. And little by little, fear robs them of their future. Fear doesn't destroy you all at once. It eats away at you slowly, keeping you stuck in the same place year after year. But when you understand that fear is nothing more than imagination twisted in the wrong direction, you stop letting it call the shots. Fear is a liar. It paints pictures of failure before you even begin. It creates scenarios in your head that never happen. It convinces you to give up before you've even tried. But ask yourself, how many times has the thing you feared actually come true? Most of the time, the fear was worse than the reality. And even when you do fall, even when you do stumble, it's never as bad as fear made it seem. Fear magnifies what's small and makes it look impossible. But when you face it, you realize it was never as big as you thought. The way to conquer fear isn't to wait until it disappears. It's to move in spite of it. Courage is not the absence of fear, it's the decision to act anyway. Every time you move through fear, you weaken it. Every time you face it head on, you shrink it. What felt impossible yesterday becomes manageable today. What made you shake last year doesn't even faze you this year. That's how growth works. Fear loses its grip the moment you stop obeying it. Here's the truth. Fear will always knock, but you don't have to open the door. It will always try to sneak into your thoughts, but you don't have to let it live there. Fear is a natural emotion. but it doesn't deserve a permanent seat at your table. You've got to tell it, I see you, but you don't control me. I hear you, but I'm moving anyway. You can't defeat me. So in 2025, stop waiting for fear to leave. It's not going anywhere. Instead, decide that fear will not dictate your decisions. Use it as fuel. Let it push you instead of paralyze you. Because once you stop letting fear hold the pen, you start writing your story with boldness. And when you do that, nothing, absolutely nothing, can defeat you. Life will throw punches at you, hard punches. It will knock the wind out of you, drop you to your knees, and make you question everything you thought you knew. There will be seasons where nothing goes right, where it feels like every door is slamming in your face, where the weight of responsibility makes you want to quit. But listen to me. Life's challenges cannot defeat you unless you stop fighting. Struggle is not the end, it's the process. Pain is not your punishment, it's your preparation. Every challenge you face is not there to break you, to build you. Think about it, diamonds are made under pressure, muscles grow by being torn and rebuilt, and steel becomes strong through fire. So why do we think life should be any different? The struggles you're facing right now are shaping you into someone stronger, sharper, wiser, and tougher. The very things that look like they're working against you are actually working for you if you refuse to give up. What looks like a setback is often just the setup for your breakthrough. Too many people let challenges define them. They say, I went through this, so I'll never rise again. I failed here, so I must not be good enough. I lost this, so I'll never win. That's the lie. You are not what you've been through. You're what you've overcome. And the fact that you're still standing, the fact that you've survived 100% of your hardest days up to this point proves that life's challenges don't have the power to destroy you. They may slow you down, they may test you, they may stretch you, but they can't defeat you. The truth is, challenges are the currency of success. You can't buy strength without going through struggle. You can't learn resilience by having it easy. You can't appreciate victory without tasting defeat. Life challenges are the training ground for your destiny. Every storm you survive equips you for the next level. Every trial you endure gives you wisdom that no book, no classroom, no speech could ever teach you. But here's the key. You can't fold in the middle of the fight. Too many people quit right before the breakthrough. They let the pain talk louder than the purpose. They give up when things get heavy, not realizing that if they'd held on just a little longer, they would have seen the reward. Don't let temporary pain cause you to forfeit permanent greatness. Don't let one chapter convince you the whole book is over. Life's challenges are real, but so is your resilience. So is your grit. So is your fire. You've made it through too much to let this moment take you out. Lift your head. Square your shoulders and remind yourself, I've been hit before and I got back up. I've struggled before and I made it through. This challenge is not my end. It's my beginning. So the next time life tries to press you down, declare aloud, you can try, but you can't defeat me, because no matter what comes your way, your strength, your perseverance, and your unbreakable spirit will always rise above.